You say Kikuchi.
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year.
Christopher can go to hell.
Oh, nothing worse than the horse.
Nah, man, black don't crack.
And Jimin Pratt is like, how do you say his name? Asminger?
Asminger.
Hey, these Hard Knocks guys are all over me right now. It's like I'm in back of Dayton.
You are a bit killer. Because you got to talk about sperm.
Here we go.
You don't know. You don't know. And you know why you don't know? Because you're gutless, Andy. You're gutless.
Sedano and Cap.
God, I'm going to melt you.
Bing, ba-da-bum. Yeah. Bing, da-da-bum. Bing, ba-da-bum. Ba-da-bum. Bing-a-doom, da-da-bum.
Yeah, Mike Trudell. See, you can't help it. Yeah.
I'm gonna spend the show trying to figure out if I can trust you after the slanderous way that Mason and Ireland talked about you.
I know, Mace. I mean, come on, Mace. Thought we were tight, bro.
Yeah, kind of came right after you.
Yeah, he did. He did. And by the way, he's not the only one, because now all of a sudden the circle of trust, my Twitter timeline, is like jam-packed with people going, come on, Cap. What's that all about? Like, one guy just sent me a message and he goes, yo, you got my case of Callaway golf balls that you told me you were going to give me? And that's a smart move. That's a very smart move, because somebody like me might forget that I actually said, yes, I will take care of that for you. And then that's why this Elvis dude is now coming after me going, yo, just like you expected Sasha to give you a case of his wine, maybe I should have just gone for the bottle. Maybe you were right. Maybe I should have said, hey, he's got a bottle for me, not a case for me.
I know. There's nobody that I would ask to give me a full case of wine. You know, that's like several $100s.
Yeah, but not retail value. You know what I mean?
When he asked like Tequila Mandala guys, he got his case, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's a sponsor already, isn't it?
They are a partner. Yes.
A partner.
And then what I would do
is
I would brand ambassador for those guys. I'd go out and I go, hey, listen, I'm trying to get these guys are my guys. They got this amazing brand.
Yeah.
Here, let's put it into your bar, your fancy restaurant. So I do that. I actually do that.
I do that.
I do. I don't
do this.
I don't drink that. You know,
right.
I'm not home drinking it. I'm like giving it away.
What are we talking about today, Kevin?
Well, let me start off with this, Mike Trudell. Let's actually start off with what happened last night inside Crypto.com. So I was talking to you about this yesterday. You know, LeBron James being at the national championship game in Atlanta means that he got to get on a private plane, fly 4 hours cross country, do his thing, have his night, have his fun, turn around, get on a private plane, fly back, and now he's got to play a game. And there were a lot of people that questioned, well, maybe he won't play because they're only playing Washington. They should be able to beat Washington without LeBron. But I thought the opposite. I said not only is LeBron going to play, LeBron's going to stick it to loudmouths who complain about him being there, myself being one of them. So what I did last night is I played LeBron on Prize Picks for more than 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And I think he probably got like 45 or 46 combined. So shout out to LeBron, because guess what? That's about the first prize pick I've won in a really, really, really long time.
Well, we discussed this, okay? George was on the call, and you know, you asked him what was going to happen. Well, LeBron's coming from Ohio State, and I said, if anything, he will play even better. Now, he didn't have to play well, actually, I take it back. He did play typical minutes, but 36 minutes. I thought maybe he sat a couple extra since they were up pretty big. But he was in the fourth quarter when he usually plays, which is why he was 36 and 80 was 33. 21 points, 13 assists, 10 rebounds. He had the massive dunk on Jonas Valanciunas.
By the way, can we just talk about that dunk for one quick second?
Please.
Was that the alley-oop dunk?
That was the alley-oop.
Okay, let me tell you something. Austin Reeves, that was such a beautiful play. Just because Austin Reeves' back was to the basket, but he could see LeBron flying down the lane, and he like threw it up and over him. You know, we all get so impressed with the dunk, and especially LeBron. Oh, he's 40. Look at how he can still dunk. How about the freaking pass and the vision and the precision of Austin Reeves with that pass?
Okay, I'm about halfway with you.
Okay, not fully with me.
Well, here's why.
All right.
So he didn't see, Austin told us after the game, he didn't see Valanciunas there. So that actually makes the play much better, because if you turn and you see, maybe you don't throw the pass because you're like, oh, he's going to get a contest. I don't know if it's going to be clear. Obviously, LeBron was able to handle it. The second part of it is, though, and Austin has said this repeatedly, it's pretty easy to throw LeBron James an alley-oop. You know, that you've got a big radius of where you can throw the ball. Mm-hmm. Now, what is not easy, and this is where I'm with you, is just to have the presence of mind to be aware of where he is while a defender is trying to grab the ball away from you and is pushing you and is trying to keep you from the spot that you want to get to on offense. So that part I do like about Austin, the general awareness of just looking for where that person is going to be, but throwing it, almost anybody could throw a lob to LeBron.
I just don't see it like that. I mean, listen, I think anytime an NBA player throws up like a perfect alley-oop, it's pretty impressive. It's like an NFL quarterback throwing a pass to a guy who's running as fast as he can and throwing it to a spot and waiting for that guy to get there. I just find it super impressive. And I also find the chemistry impressive because you know that LeBron has taken a liking to Austin Reeves over all these years.
Yeah.
And Austin Reeves obviously just probably idolizes the guy. But when you see LeBron coming through and you flip it over your back, that's a perfect pass.
So, yes, but also it could have been like a foot in any direction and he still would have caught it and dunked it. So the idea of it was perfect, but you have some room for error in the execution of it. But I will say, because Austin Reeves does like to talk about this, if he gets the ball and he's rushing up the floor in transition, there's always, and he's aware that LeBron's on the court, obviously, he is always going to just take a quick peek. Because even if he can go ahead and dunk it himself, it's going to be more fun for him, for everybody watching, certainly for LeBron, if he throws that thing up and lets LeBron hammer it. Because that's going to get the whole crowd going. It's going to de-energize the opponent to an extent. So alley-oop hunting is a thing, and Austin Reeves will do that for LeBron James. There's no doubt.
It was actually an exciting game last night. And I say exciting, you're playing one of the worst teams in the league, maybe the worst team in the entire league. But after the game, and I know you were obviously there asking the questions, but JJ was saying, this is the most professional game we've played all year. And I thought that was an interesting comment. He was making it when he said professional, let me ask it to you this way. When JJ Redick says, this is the most professional game we've played all year, what did he mean?
Well, when you know the other team isn't very good, or in this case, it's not that they're just super young. So they start 3 rookies. Right, that's the biggest reason. So these guys, they're just not ready. Koulibaly and Alex Sarr, you can see the talent of the young French guys, but they're 3 years away from being 3 years away. This is a team that's going to need to grow and build. The way that you lose that game is by not acknowledging that and just coming out and kind of tossing the ball around, and then all of a sudden they're within 3 points at halftime. And then it's still a tight game in the third quarter. And then you can ultimately lose the game. So that's the professional part of it. Stop thinking about what name is on the jersey and the fact that these guys aren't very organized and they're not quite sure when the rotation should come on the weak side when LeBron's setting a pick for AD or vice versa. And the Lakers just played anyway. They played through that. It was a professional win. And I'm not going to take a ton out of it outside of that, other than I did like what Dorian Finney-Smith did and the progress that he's making. But that's the professional part of it.
Yeah, to me, I was listening to JJ, and what he could have said if he wasn't the coach of the Lakers, he could have said, Washington's horrendous, and the Lakers cannot take the risk of losing a game like this. So the professionalism is don't even let these guys think they have a chance. And I thought he was exactly right last night. That was a good, solid, professional win against a really bad team that never really posed much of a threat. As, by the way, now you got a little bit of time to just chill today, rest up a little bit, because tomorrow night is going to be electric inside crypto when Boston makes their only appearance in town.
Yeah, because Boston is not playing their best basketball, but that should be totally expected because it's that part of the season where they win the title last year. They start this season with all of that energy. We're the champs. Watch us kick your ass, etc. But now we're at the point of the season where, okay, they're the worst that they can end up finishing, probably standings-wise, is second, maybe third, if they really slacked off. Mm-hmm. I don't know that they'll catch Cleveland. Cleveland is 7 games above them right now in the loss column. The Knicks are 3 games behind them. So I think that second spot.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Sorry, a little delay there.
Right. Once you mention Cleveland, get ready.
They're fine in that second spot. I don't think they're too worried about home court against the Cavs. They'd like to have
Oh, come on.
Well, I mean, Cleveland, first of all, Evan Mobley is now injured.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine,
well,
okay?
I hope he'll be fine. He's going to miss his 3rd straight game.
He's going to be fine.
Coming up.
Me and DeAndre will just sit here and laugh.
He's got a calf strain.
Anytime Lindsay gets all Cleveland,
because they're the best team in the NBA right now.
They did get smacked by Boston
Yeah.
the one time that Boston tried
And I think
to
the
beat
Thunder
them.
are a
Wait,
little bit better.
Wait, no, they beat the Thunder, and then they
They
also
did it
beat.
better.
They
Well,
also
and then
beat the
Thunder defended them
Celtics.
by like
Too?
40
Yeah.
without Hartenstein.
Yeah.
So, and
And then this is
it's a
home
nice
game.
story, Lindsay. This is not personal. I don't think Cleveland is the best team in the East, nor do I think they're better than OKC. But they're a respectable team. They're
Hey,
very good.
By the way, I'm already checking in here on the live YouTube chat, and everybody's checking in going, guys, yeah, okay, but it was the Wizards.
Yeah, they're right.
No, I got it.
Yeah.
I understand that it was the Wizards.
Yeah, Cappy isn't celebrating
No.
the win necessarily.
No, listen, just like I wasn't celebrating the win against Brooklyn where they barely got by
he's
Brooklyn.
just Celebrate. So the Lakers this is what they've done this season. They have been professional in general. They've taken care of the bad teams for the most part. Right? Like the only times that let's see, there's one team I think that they lost to that was below 500.
Well,
where they
he
didn't
definitely
play well.
complained last night, JJ, about their loss or against Orlando. He was like, hey, if it wasn't for a couple of games, like that Orlando game sticks out. He goes, we'd be in the 6th spot feeling pretty good about ourselves right now.
Yeah, and this is okay. And now I like talking to JJ Redick. He's very smart, and you don't often catch him in something where you're kind of like, wait, what does he mean? Like he articulates his points very well. He knows what he's talking about. When you do if this would have gone a certain way, then we would have won 2 more games. You generally have to go, well, if we hadn't have done this in the fourth quarter of the 2 games that we won, then we would have lost those 2 games. But he made kind of a persuasive point, and he said, I don't think there's been a game that we have won that we didn't deserve to win. And I'm kind of going through the schedule, and I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, there wasn't really a lucky bounce other than maybe if Russell's shot goes in. Like then that's one of those games where you could have lost when you deserve to win. Well, maybe you deserve to lose it. The Orlando game, they had it and they blew it, right? That was the LeBron and AD missed a combined 4 free throws, I think, in the final minute. And there was another game like that in Atlanta where they had the turnover, AD and LeBron, the interchange, and the inbounds pass. So yes, but that does happen in the NBA. His point was though, if you add those 2 wins, then you're basically right there for the 4 seed instead of, or even potentially getting up to the 3. And that's kind of, I think, where the Lakers want to be. Then you would feel really good about what you've done so far. But the fact that they've taken care of business, again, not celebrating beating the Wizards, but you got that win, you added into the win column. Now you see what happens against Boston.
All right, Mike Trudell is in for Sedano. Coming up, I must say something here, okay? I am longing for the days of hard copy tickets to get into basketball games. I'm going to explain exactly why that is. Coming right back. This is Sedano and Cap.
The Kings are back at Crypto.com Arena tonight, where they've been the best home team in the NHL this season.
Beat Spence in the blue line. The middle for Kempe. Those 2 want to switch.
Hi, my name is Victoria. I am from Sylmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
I want to thank them. Without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. Little help like you guys asked for. I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Famath, and I'm from Sylmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where to be at, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, inside Crypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from El Monte. Hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing, and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you, LA.
Does matter in this case because Avner Gatt has experienced it all. Insurance companies can make you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope in getting your home back together. Avner Gatt knows exactly how to handle these situations. Not only do they have extensive knowledge on how to handle your dilemma, but they remain passionate about helping people. It's why Avner and his family continue to take the calls themselves at Avner Gatt Inc. They cover all of Southern California, and if I haven't convinced you with all of these truth bombs thus far, just check out what seems to be a never-ending stream of 5-star reviews on Yelp, Google, and the Better Business Bureau. So, whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is at home, call Avner Gatt today. 818-917-5256. That's 818-917-5256. And you can go online to avnergatt.com.
Hey, it's Mace. Fire survivors have a long road to recovery. The Center for Disaster Philanthropy, CDP, helps communities most in need rebuild stronger after fires and other disasters. Join us as we help to support the long-term recovery needs through CDP's California Fire Recovery Fund. Together, we can support vital programs that address housing, mental health, livelihood initiatives, and environmental restoration. For information, visit disasterphilanthropy.org/ESPN.
Want to have more fun watching the NBA? Try playing daily fantasy basketball on Sleeper Picks. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. And now, Sleeper has a special offer. New users just have to play $5 to get $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code COURT and get $55 in free entries when you play $5. That's code COURT. Must be at least 18 years old. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
When I wake up, the best mornings in the morning light start with Wrangler. Pull on my jeans and I feel all right. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot. I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my blue jeans on. Good mornings make for better days. I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my blue jeans on. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
And it is Sedano and Cap, your Wednesday afternoon. Today is National Hot Sauce Day. Bam! And on this day, back in 1992, the number one hit. They once were on an episode of 90210. Cover Me Bad, All for Love. Sedano and Cap continues your Wednesday afternoon right now.
All right, a little Color Me Bad, huh? I wanna sex you up.
Yeah.
Tick-tock.
That's a different song, though.
No, I realize that, but it sounds like the exact same background. You know, it sounds like the exact same beat. You know, I wanna sex you up. Tick-tock, you don't drop. I mean, right? I mean, you just change the words, dude.
So, did you think that was the song?
No. It's just the only one that I know other than this one.
I thought the way you did it so convincingly.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, is that the song?
I wanna sex you up.
I mean, what I was thinking about was I'm a big Brandon Walsh guy. Love Brandon Walsh.
Big Brandon Walsh fan.
From Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was great in the show.
Okay.
Jason Priestley, shout out.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
See, I should have brought in David Lasher, my friend David Lasher, who was once on Beverly Hills
You know,
90210.
that's now that you say that, when he comes in next time,
Yeah.
you should bring him in one of the days that Trudell is here.
Okay.
Who's David Lasher?
He's Ted from Hey Dude. He's also what is his character
What was his
that he
name
played
in
on
Sabrina? Sabrina the something witch.
Wait, he was on 90210?
Yeah, he was like the first gay character on that. He's straight, but in real life.
If you
but
Google
in
his name, you'll
the
know
show.
who he is when you see a photo
Yeah,
of him.
as soon as you see him. Huge basketball fan, by the way. Huge sports fan. But he was coming in. He was in a lot during the summer when Sedano wasn't in. You know,
Okay.
so he was just coming in to hang out and chill and have fun, which was
That's
great.
fun.
You know, I wanna sex you up. Now it's stuck in my head.
He kicked everybody's ass in the 90s trivia game.
Yeah. That would be me and you, DeAndre. We're the new Color Me Bad.
That's right.
You know?
You got to have long hair, it looks like, to be in the white guy in that group.
I'll tell you something right now. Speaking of being the white guy, me and DeAndre, we just went for lunch a little while ago. Everybody looks at us. They're like, who's that? Who's that guy? Right? Who's he play for? Right there. That guy right there. And you see the little white guy next to him? That must be his agent right there. There he is. Yeah, I wonder who that is. God, he must play for the Rams,
That
man.
is definitely the dynamic that random strangers would think.
When me and DeAndre walk,
yes.
when me and DeAndre are out together,
Yeah.
oh, forget about it. That. I mean, I try and make it seem like, no, this is my bodyguard right here.
Yeah,
you know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying? But it's like, hey, you must be the agent for that guy. Who he play for?
Do people stare at you guys?
Today they kind of did.
Kinda did,
Where'd you guys go?
They kind of did. We had lunch downstairs at the Lazy Dog.
Okay, so they,
You know, so people were like, "Who's that guy
he's
over
right
there?"
by the arena.
Right, they're like, "That
Who
guy
are they
must be
playing right
He
now?"
must be playing for the LA Kings or something." No, not the Kings.
Probably not that. Probably not. No, probably not them.
Mike Trudell is in studio today for Sedano. So, Mike, I got to tell you something, and I hope you'll give me some instant feedback
Please
here.
do.
So I said before the break, I long for the days of hard copy tickets to sporting events. I struggle with technology. I acknowledge this, okay? I get it. Last night, I go to the Lakers game. Well, let me rephrase that. I tried to go to the Lakers game. I walked in the arena at 7 o'clock. So I had me and I had a buddy of mine. And I had transferred the ticket from my phone to his phone. I did the whole transfer the ticket thing on the app, right? So we go to get into the game, and we go to, walk through, and they go to check your ticket, and his ticket isn't working. It's just not working. And it kept saying, stop, oops, it's up. And we got everybody there, man. Like all the people who work there are trying to come by, try this machine, try that machine. Nothing's working. Ultimately, we figure out that the reason it wasn't working is because it actually wasn't a ticket to get into the arena. It was a ticket to get into the Yamava Club upstairs in the arena. So I'm like, okay, so what do? I don't even know. So now I'm sitting here. I got a friend of mine who I'm entertaining last night, my buddy Jeff Green, who works for Skechers.
Let me clarify real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
You had a ticket that worked. That was fine. But the one that you thought you had for him was not actually to get into the game.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Correct. So it was a ticket to get into the Yamava Club upstairs.
Gotcha.
Okay. So now I'm sitting here like a freaking moron. Okay. And I got a buddy of mine. I'm trying to entertain this guy
Just
last
sweating,
night.
just feeling awful.
And I can't get him in.
Yeah.
So now I'm having to make calls. I'm calling Steffa, who runs this operation here. I'm calling Kobe Walsh, who's the ticket guy who handles things for us here at the station. And I'm going, guys, I don't know what the deal is. I didn't get the ticket. Now they're telling me, okay, here's the deal. You got the crypto app. You got the AXS app.
Yeah.
But the ticket is going to come in the Laker app. But the Laker app uses the credentials for the AXS app. Now we're starting to really get confusing because now I got 3 different apps, and now I got to remember passwords. And a lot of times I'll have like facial recognition. I'm like, oh, thank God, because I don't know the password. Then now I'm trying to get the ticket from this app to this app to this app, but then I got to remember my password, which I don't know.
Yeah, stressful.
So then I got to reset the password. Then once I reset the password and then I go put the password in, it still doesn't work. And I'm like, did I misspell the password? Finally, ultimately, now keep in mind, I was walking through the door at 7 o'clock. Tip was 7:30. It's 7:45 at this point, right? I'm still trying to get the ticket. Now, I finally get the ticket. Oh, thank God. I got the ticket in the Lakers app. It came from the crypto app and the ASX app, whatever. I finally got it.
And your phone died?
No.
Okay.
Now I got to transfer it to my buddy. And he just like me.
Uh-oh.
Mid-50s, not great with technology.
Oh, no.
So now, wait, he don't have the AXS app.
Oh, no.
He don't have the Lakers app. So we got to now stand there and download these apps. And then by the time we download them, he got the same problem. He don't know his password for anything. So now he doesn't have, and I'm telling you, we walked into the game last night in about the middle part of the second quarter till 2 morons could finally figure out how the hell to get tickets from app to phone to app to actually walk into the freaking game. Can I ask everybody, wouldn't it just be easier if we all still had hard copy tickets?
Well, I don't find it. I find it easier to have it on my phone and then to add it into my wallet so that I don't have to go through all of the apps, right? But I do think that this whole experience, perhaps, let me posit this, has this encouraged you that next time you go to a game, whether it's just yourself or with a friend, that day at about 8 a.m. or noon, you're like, you know what? Let me just make sure I got this ticket in the wallet. Let me make sure I got my password in. Let me make sure. Let me just dot all my I's and cross all my T's in the middle of the day, and you won't have this concern ever again.
Fair point. But keep in mind, I downloaded the ticket. I had the ticket. It had the barcode. Only I didn't realize it wasn't really a ticket to the game.
It still sounds like a you problem.
Yeah. Oh, it's a huge me problem.
Yeah.
This isn't the Lakers. This isn't crypto app. This isn't AXS app. This isn't the Lakers app. This is nobody. This is me.
I don't think you're alone with this issue. And this could happen, say, for somebody that's flying, and from an airline perspective, right? Say, my mother, who same thing. What's my Delta number? What's my Southwest password? Wait, did I add the ticket to the wallet? Oh no, I booked the wrong thing. It could be anything. So I get that the the transition into paperless technology is not always without bumps.
And here's like the worst part of it is now I'll gripe the other side. I had a buddy of mine call me this past summer. He's like, "Hey man, I got all these tickets for the baseball game. I got to hook up with you to give you the tickets. Here's me. Give me the tickets? What? You can't just email them to me? I got to come meet you?" He goes, "Yeah, I don't do the wireless. I do only hard copy tickets. So now you and me got to come get together and meet each other and take time so I can actually hand you the tickets." What's my biggest fear when he hands me the tickets? I'm going to lose the freaking tickets.
That's the other part of it, right? There's nothing perfect about it, but I do think that you could make this analogy to just money in general. Like, well, how about cash versus Venmoing or Zelling or whatever your buddy for a meal, like, or writing a check, or everybody. Oh, everybody's got the one friend, right? Once the bill comes around, oh, God, hey, I don't have my wallet today, or I don't have the right cash. Can you cover this one? Well, when everybody's got the cell phone out, right? Then you could just, if everybody can Zelle, it kind of eliminates that issue. So there are pluses and minuses to this game, Kevin.
I just got to tell you guys, like, I'm going to this game tomorrow night, and I will do exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
I will
make sure you're straight right
I'll download, I'll freaking transfer, I'll make sure everybody's got it in their wallet. I am telling you right now, I felt like the biggest freaking jerk last night. Because my buddy's like, "Dude, I drove in, I parked, I got here early. What the hell? We're getting to the game. And the second half is about to tip off."
Is it like food, though, where if let's say that you go to a nice restaurant and you're waiting and your table isn't coming, and you keep waiting, but by the time you finally get your table and then the food comes, you're starving and it tastes that much better. Is it like that with the game, or are you just mad that you missed all the action?
No, I'm not too mad about missing all the action. In fact, I really zoned in the second half. I really got locked in on the actual game, mostly because I was just worried about LeBron getting me more than 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists so I could win on Prize Picks. That was really kind of the only reason. All right, hold on a second. Stick around, because now, as the Lakers are getting ready to take on Boston tomorrow night, LeBron had some commentary about who Boston is and who the Lakers are not. We'll get to that part of the story next.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. after Greeny.
I'd never met Michael Cooper, and he was the co-host of the show with Rob Fukuzaki, and they bring me on for the segment. And as I'm walking to go onto the set, Michael Cooper starts breaking.
Hi, my name is Victoria. I am from Silmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
You know, I want to thank them. You know, without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. You know, little help like you guys asked for. You know, I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California, and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work, and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Famath, and I'm from Silmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. You know, I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where to be at, you know, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, InsideCrypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from Almonte. Hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing, and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you, LA.
think White is an all-star. Holiday has been in the past, but they are ridiculous for a third and fourth guy. And then Porzingis on top of that, like, they made really good moves. That is why they are who they are. So to me, it's less about like knowing an identity. It's more about LeBron being in year 22 and trying to have to manage a regular season and then get to a postseason where you can ideally, beat the teams that you match up well with, which have not been Denver. And that's who they've lost in the last couple of runs. But like, identity to me is just semantics. Like, the identity of the team is really like LeBron and AD, and then trying to fill in around that.
Well, that's the key.
Yeah,
but that's the whole key right there.
Yeah, that is it.
Is that LeBron and AD, every year it's about those two guys, and then it's about changing the coach every 2 years, and then it's about changing a whole bunch of other pieces around them every couple of, every other season, and then making trades during the season. So there's not really like a 5-year core where the same coach, the vast majority of the same players, et cetera, et cetera. That's, to me, what LeBron is saying.
Okay, my pushback to that, and I'll bring Golden State into this conversation. So wouldn't you say that we've known the identity of Golden State over the years?
Correct.
Okay. Well, why are they struggling this year?
Because they don't have that many. They have their depth. Their depth, and they have the right shooters around Stephen Curry. As far as like they have a right amount of spacing on the floor.
Well, I would say that it's just simply because Steph and Draymond are that much older relative to the rest of the league. Clay is now gone, but he is also that much older, and you can't stay in your prime forever while other teams are coming up. And Boston is coming up. OKC is coming up now. Cleveland is coming up. In the West, you've got Houston and Memphis about to be coming up. It's just a natural part of it.
So what LeBron was saying is we're just old.
Well, he's not saying that explicitly, but of course he is old. He is literally the oldest player in the league. He's still awesome. Still can put up a triple-double on a whim. But like, to get that every night is a lot to ask. That's all.
All right, we got plenty more to get to. Mike Trudell is in for Sedano. You got DeAndre, who is in control of this operation today, and Lindsay, as she says, is just making suggestions in the back. This is KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station. I want to remind everybody, if you are looking to sell your home right now for a variety of reasons, your parents could have left you a house that you don't want to live in and you don't want to pay the property taxes on. Perhaps your kids have all graduated high school and they've moved on and it's time to downsize. Or maybe you're ready to, move to another state, to a place where, your lifestyle would be a little bit more affordable. Whatever your reason is for wanting to sell your home, Seller's Advantage can help make it fast. And Seller's Advantage can make it with no complications. No complicated closing process, no painting your walls, no cleaning your floors, no taking out all your furniture, no open houses. A competitive cash offer now to help you sell your house as fast as possible. Here's the number. It's a no obligation offer. 888-390-AS-IS. 888-390-AS-IS. 888-390-2747. Make the call. It's that no obligation offer. They're going to make you a competitive cash offer. You have no obligation. Sellersadvantage.com for more information.
It's playoff time, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the playoffs. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars awarded in winnings, Prize Picks is made
Hi,
daily
my name is
fantasy
Victoria.
sports-
I am from Silmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
I want to thank them. Without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. Little help, like you guys asked for. I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California, and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work, and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Famath, and I'm from Silmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where to be at, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, InsideCrypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from El Monte. hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing, and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you, LA.
Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, and a grand prize of Invisalign from Beverly Hills Ortho. Enter now at ESPNLA.com, and remember, you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Orthodontics.
710 ESPN. Sedano and Cap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
That's right. What you need to know is being brought to us by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Trudell is in today for Sedano. And here's Lindsay Baseball with what we all need to know.
Well, what you need to know is that Netflix is taking over the world, officially. Because they announced yesterday that they now have 302 million paying subscribers, which, you know...
They have how many?
302 million paying subscribers.
Wow.
They gained 41 million subscribers last year alone.
They must be popping up in India or something.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
that's, you know, America's only 30 million people.
Well, their growth was like...
Good job by you. You study the census or what?
Yeah, 15% year over year.
Pretty familiar.
Might be a little higher than that, but
pretty
yeah.
familiar with the population size.
Yeah,
huh?
I like to. Well, Michael, you never know what Michael Thompson's going to ask you on the bus, so you got to kind of, have a wide range. Anyway,
Got to read up on everything, right? But with all of that being said, Netflix is like, well, we're like the leader in streaming by far and away. No one's even close to us. So we're going to raise the prices again. And I feel like they just raised the prices less than 6 months ago.
Lindsay, I'll be honest with you. The last price raising that they did annoyed me enough that I canceled my subscription.
I'm getting there because you know what? I pay $31 right now. It's $30.99 for the premium tier plus to add one user, which is my mom.
Okay, quick question. How did you know that they raised the price on you? Was it because we had this conversation yesterday about not checking credit card bills?
My credit card
Is
bill.
that how you did it?
Yeah.
You found out? So wait, so you get the credit card bill,
Yeah.
and you see Netflix was $25 and it went up
whatever.
to $30, and that $5 you were like, that's it, I'm out.
I wasn't on the super premium tier like Lindsay, so I think I was on the one that you're not supposed to share, but you can. Although I think
They changed
cracked
it.
down on that more
They did,
now.
yeah, because I had mine, and then my mom had my account, and when she went to sign in for it the first time after this crackdown, they basically said you can't watch both within the same 24-hour period, something crazy like that.
Right.
So then they made me add a user, so that's what I did. I can't stand the commercials, so I pay for the extra, but they also send people an email. And they, and then as soon as something like this comes out where there's a press release or someone gets the email like, hey, the prices are going up, then, they're like, hey, it's up $3 for the higher tier and $2 for the lowest tier. So it's now for me at $31 just for Netflix, and I'm debating on canceling it.
Yeah, I mean, that's starting to get prohibitive, and it's also it's not like it's that much better. It's just different from all of the other things you can get now, Peacock and Paramount and HBO and on and on and on. Cappy, what I wonder is when will there start to be some sort of a bundle? And when will Netflix? And it sounds like it won't be them, but will Peacock partner with Paramount or something? And kind of like Disney and Hulu and ESPN Plus, although of course that's owned by the same place.
But isn't ESPN doing some kind of a Banderuski? Oh, Banderuski. You ever seen that commercial?
No.
You've never seen this commercial?
What?
Okay, hold on a second.
Banderuski?
Oh, Banderuski.
Oh.
You've never seen this commercial?
No.
With Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid.
Yeah, where Jake from State Farm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have seen that, but I didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, my thing is I like to skip commercials.
Okay, well, there's a fumble Ruski.
Okay.
But apparently it's more fun to say Banderuski.
Oh, my bad. This is current. This is current, and I just wasn't up on it. I thought you were breaking out like an 80s reference.
No, it's really annoying
That's
that
my
Andy Reid is comes off as this super jolly, friendly guy.
Because he's not.
Because he's not that at
Apparently.
all. No.
Okay.
But then you just put him into a State Farm commercial and you have him say Banderuski.
And then everybody loves him.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Cap
Anyway.
loves it.
Well, isn't ESPN doing some kind of a bundle?
No,
of
not anymore.
Sport? No?
So they announced about a week and a half ago it was going to be called Avalon Sports, I believe, that they were going to partner with Fox and TNT, I believe. And they were going to do this streaming sports service. And they announced that they're no longer doing that. That is in the can because Fubo has partnered with Disney and Hulu. And so basically now instead of having Hulu Live, like, you know, they have Hulu Live for sports.
No.
Well, they do.
Okay.
They're going to they're partnering with Fubo. So instead of having Hulu Live Sports now, it's going to be an ESPN Hulu Fubo matchup or mesh together, and that's where you're going to be able to get all kinds of streaming sports content, with the exception of like F1.
Oh, well, I like Fubo. That's a good one. So you got rid of Netflix, Mike?
Yes, although I do have, I think, my sister's password, but I haven't put it in because I've been told that it doesn't work anymore. You can't just use somebody else's.
I'll tell you right now.
Netflix does not. They do not have enough original, like, new content for me to keep paying for it, because the one thing that I hate about Netflix is they take these shows from other regions of the country and then they just dub it in English and they slap it on there and they're like, oh, it's a new show.
Or other parts of the world, you mean?
Yes.
Okay,
that's what I meant.
I mean, we all speak.
You know what I mean?
Okay, no, I didn't.
They take like foreign shows from other countries and then they just dub them in English, and it's weird because, you know, you can tell the voice doesn't match the mouth, and it's you know, and it doesn't even sound like the person that's supposed to be saying it. It's just weird.
Quick question about that though: do you think that Cappy and I could get jobs doing voiceovers for some of those?
Oh
dubs?
yeah, oh that'd be great.
You know,
I think you definitely could. You definitely could, Mike.
Could we find out somebody in this industry where you and I could do a little voiceover action? For like money heists, or whatever.
Yo, where are the Netflix people at? Yo, we're volunteering.
We're available. We can work in tandem.
Yeah.
You know, we could be partners.
There's websites where you upload like samples of your voice and
Yeah.
people hire you based off of that.
We should do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should do
DeAndre,
that.
could you help us with that, just from an audio perspective, like kind of putting everything together? I don't know what Cappy's gonna be able to figure out.
No, I have no
Definitely
chance.
gonna need to help Cap out.
Yeah, I got no chance of getting that done. None whatsoever.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I think we could use DeAndre in this.
That's right. Big time.
Come on now.
Yeah,
What's
let's
happening?
Let's bring him in.
Yeah. Well, that's what you need to know. It's being brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are.
Do you think we can make a lot of money doing this, Cappy?
Well, I'll tell you right now, people who do all these voiceovers, like people who I just listened to an Audible book. It's
Yep,
the first
that's
time
where
I've
the money's
ever,
at.
first time I've ever listened to an Audible book. And by the way, I prefer to hold and read the book, so I've never listened to an Audible book before. This Audible book, I want to say, took me like 14 hours to listen to.
Did you up the speed?
I did not.
So you cut the time down?
I did not.
Okay.
I thought about it, and I tried for a few minutes, and I didn't like it.
Wasn't okay.
But I think these Audible books, these guys or girls who do the Audible narration,
Audiobook,
Were you impressed,
Yeah.
or did you not like it?
No, very good.
Okay.
Very
you can
good.
make money off of that because
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's like he said to his point, 14 hours, and they pay very well. So like I said, if you guys want to do voiceover work, that's a thing.
What is I mean, and look, you know, I feel like I could do this well.
Okay.
So what do you think is a applicable rate, Lindsay? Like, how much money do you think I could get for doing a book voiceover?
I mean, it's got to be somewhere around like 100 or more, like depending on the
100K?
company per hour. No, like
Oh,
$100
$100
like
an
per
hour.
hour. I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe that's way low. I think it depends on what it
kinda low.
is.
I have no idea. I don't know. I'm not
Because
going to do it.
if you're like doing voice work for like The Simpsons, for example, people
Mm-hmm.
always were, you know, they were telling me one of the characters from Milton, the lady who does his voice, is like retiring, and everyone's like, oh, because you know I always joke that I sound like Bart Simpson, and they're like, you should be Milton's voice. I think it is. You know how much money that woman makes?
Well,
a lot of money.
She's an actress.
Well, she's a voice actress.
Right, and that voice actress on a hit show.
Yeah. So I'm just saying it depends on what you're doing. If it's just an audiobook by some like low-level publishing company, I don't know, $100, $200 an hour.
All right. Well, we'll get to work on it. Hey, by the way, I'm seeing this report that's happening this afternoon that the Heat are suspending Jimmy Butler now for the second time this month.
Sedano's boy.
You know, man, this guy. Listen, to me,
Should we rack you?
you don't have to rack me necessarily, but I would just say it like this: if you gave me Jimmy Butler on a LeBron and AD Lakers team, I would tell you that Jimmy Butler is about to turn into Brody. I just think that there's no way, there's no way that these egos could all coexist together. And Jimmy Butler, listen, I don't know Jimmy Butler at all.
Clearly.
Okay, I just know his, just watching his game, he just comes
you
off.
don't know Sasha Vujacic either.
Well, I know him. He doesn't know me. I just hate when guys like are so seemingly selfish. You know, like come on, bro. You can't show up to the plane on time. But by the way, I'm sure it's all premeditated. I'm sure it's all like, yeah, I don't want to go. And by the way, I got enough money that it doesn't matter to me. And I want to be traded, and you don't want to trade me. And it's your ego versus my ego. So you know what? I'm just not going to show up.
I mean, so last time we had this discussion was the previous suspension, right, for 7 games, and I defended the idea of Jimmy Butler just sort of out of the principle that he has shown many times on the court, including in the postseason, including in the finals, that he will play hard and get the job done. But I cannot defend missing the team flight, especially in these types of circumstances. Just like I wouldn't defend Zion missing a team flight. Like that is the level of, we talked about professionalism that JJ Redick mentioned the Lakers played Washington with. That's professionalism as well. And with Jimmy, for somebody that's been in the league for this long, I liked your point that there had to be some level of intentionality with it as well. It wasn't like he just happened to be late amidst everything that's going on. So I can't defend that. The only thing that matters, though, is the team that is going to have him next. How much, with all of this knowledge that he's probably going to act this way on the way out, if he doesn't like what the contract situation is, but do you still believe that he is the same Jimmy Butler that helped get the Heat to the finals 2 out of the last 4 years? And that's the question that these teams are asking themselves.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if I'm Phoenix, and you talked about this a lot yesterday, Phoenix seems to have positioned themselves by making trades and getting draft capital that they are, like you said, positioned to possibly make this trade. And maybe Phoenix is like, look, he's behaving this way because Pat Riley is saying, hey, you're not doing this to me. Like, Pat Riley is still old school enough that Pat Riley has the guts to actually stand up to today's modern day NBA player when most organizations do not. And so, here's Jimmy Butler telling the media, I want to be traded. And then there's Pat Riley going, no, that's not going to happen. You're going to play for us. You're going to honor your contract.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday's news, though, was about Phoenix acquiring the picks from Utah on that whole trade swap that, George helped break down. Even though you're an NBA insider, you just got a little bit more insight.
I mean, I just needed to dumb it down.
Exactly. And so that was that train of thought. Oh, maybe Phoenix is nearing a deal. Maybe there's a suitor for Bradley Beal a place where Bradley Beal actually wants to go. And as an aside, I was like, you know what? I could kind of see him looking nice in Detroit right now. They even have some flexibility money-wise, but then I'm like, I don't think they really want to mess with what's going on there. Everything's been great. Like, they're over 500. Why are they going to bring this in, especially if they don't think he's going to want to be there? So it's just that part is now moved to the side again because of this missing of the flight and then the 2-game suspension. And it's like, well, what's next? What's next, Cappy?
I mean, what's next is Jimmy Butler just saying, I don't need to play. I got enough money that I don't need to play, and I'll just be over here. And if you guys won't trade me, then I just won't play for you.
You
don't think so?
I don't think that he has that kind of money.
He got enough money that if he don't want to play for the $25 million that he's owed for the rest of this year, Jimmy Butler is sitting there looking at his bank account going, I mean, do I really need this $25 million? Because I don't want to play for these guys.
I agree that it is obviously a lot of money, but for Jimmy Butler, I feel like for him, all of this has to do with him playing for another team so he can make more money, doesn't it, in the end?
Well, yeah, all of this was triggered when the Heat essentially announced that they weren't going to re-sign him. But Jimmy Butler, so far in his career, has made $263 million, okay? And that's not counting this year's salary, which is somewhere between $45 and $50 million. I don't know that. So that's where I kind of take Cap's point where, okay, the 7-game suspension, even though he's going to get some of that money back because they're going to appeal it through the Players Association, they're going to say, oh, well, he suspended him, but I was playing hard. You can't prove it. I just was sick that day, whatever. So he'll get some of that money back. But I don't think he's helping himself in terms of making a trade possible with this stuff continuing to happen. And that's the confusing part. Because once the suspension happened and you came back, he's been playing okay. His numbers have been okay, not great, but he's been playing okay. That, I think you want to send that signal, hey, I'm on the way back. I'm getting in game shape. I'm ready to roll. And by then missing the team flight, it supports it basically just makes Pat Riley and the Heat look better for their stance. But they're also the ones that have to try to get value when they trade him.
Yep.
So they're not helping themselves there either.
I would never want him on the Lakers. I'm telling you right now, his ego with everybody else's egos and the ball, there's only one ball to go around. I'm telling you, to me, it's like Russell Westbrook all over again. All right, stick around. Hold on a second. Coming up, DeAndre's Philadelphia Eagles are in the NFC Championship game, but the mayor of Philadelphia has gone viral with her Eagles chant. I'll explain the whole deal coming right back. Oh, you got to hear this.
Oh, no.
This is Sedano and Cap. Mike Trudell is in for Sedano. This is 710 ESPN.
The most followed sports radio station in America.
710 ESPN.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
LA's mega sports station.
The Kings are back at Crypto.com Arena tonight, where they've been the best home team in the NHL this season.
Beats Spence to the blue line. In the middle for Kempe. Those two want to switch. Kempe to the near side. Hands it to Kopitar. Back for Kempe. One-timer off the crossbar. You heard that ping from everywhere in the building. Kopitar to Kempe. Shoots! Scores! They went right to the same play. Off the crossbar. Back to Kempe. And then bar down and in. It's 3 straight games with a power play goal.
Tonight in Los Angeles, it's the Kings taking on the defending Stanley Cup champions, the Florida Panthers. Don't miss the action. Listen live at 7 on the all-new ESPN LA app.
Ignored, judged, know that Avner has your back. And if somehow I still haven't convinced you, just check out what seems to be a never-ending stream of 5-star reviews on Yelp, Google, and the Better Business Bureau. Call today, 818-917-5256. That's 818-917-5256 and online at avnergat.com.
Travis Matthew, an apparel brand deeply rooted in Southern California, is here to support our LA community and those affected by the destruction across the cities we love so much. Right now, their Topanga and Century City retail locations are offering free Travis Matthew products to help those affected by the Southern California wildfires. Can't make it to the stores? Discounts are also available by reaching out to their customer service team. Stay updated on Travis Matthew's donation and volunteer efforts by following @TravisMatthew on social media.
Hey guys, it's Cappy, and if you want to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage. Let me say it again, it's real simple. If you're ready to sell, call Seller's Advantage. Everybody has different reasons for selling. Some people want to downsize and they're ready to move. Some have inherited property, and you know what? They don't want to have that property. They want to get rid of it. Or maybe you're just ready for a change in your life. Whatever your reason is for selling, Seller's Advantage has a custom solution for your needs. They'll make you a competitive cash offer with no repairs needed, and they can close in days. Seller's Advantage is the fastest and the most stress-free way to sell your home. No complicated closing process or contracts falling through. Seller's Advantage has been making sellers happy for decades, and they've got all the reviews to prove it. So call them today and get a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS. 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, or sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
It's playoff time, and you can take full advantage by winning some cash playing daily fantasy football on Sleeper Picks. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. And now, Sleeper has a special offer. New users just have to play $5 to get $55 in free entries. Download the Sleeper app today and use code SCORE and get $55 in free entries when you play $5. That's code SCORE. Must be at least 18 years old. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
Mr. President? Agent Collins, come on in.
Catch the new Hulu original, Paradise. Some conspiracies are bigger than they seem.
When I became president, first thing I asked about was the secrets. Aliens. Who killed JFK? He's the only one I really trust. And I want to tell you the truth.
Starring Sterling K. Brown, Julianne Nicholson, and James Marsden.
The biggest secret is right under your nose.
What aren't you telling me? The Hulu original series, Paradise, premieres January 28th, streaming on Hulu.
And it is Sedano and Cap your Wednesday afternoon. Mike Trudell sitting in for Sean. Happy 57th birthday to the one and only Guy Fieri. And we lost him way back in 1964. But he was able to make his mark on music forever. And we know Sedano loves an oldie. So we're going to play it. Happy birthday to Sam Cooke. Sedano and Cap continues your Wednesday afternoon right now.
Oh, yeah. Oldies.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
You know, there was a radio station, I grew up in Minneapolis, 107.9 was the oldies station, and My dad, that would be the station that he would usually have on, but sometimes he would switch over to 92.5, which was classic rock. So I would get basically anywhere between like the 60s to the early 70s was kind of the range, and a little bit of late 70s. And then that other times, he would actually pop the tape cassette in when he would make he would like get all of his records onto one thing. But
mixtape.
So, yeah, the mixtape. So I have heard all of the oldies, and I gotta say, it's great. It's great stuff, Gabby. It puts me in a nice space hearing that music.
Yeah, the same way. My mother, we would drive down the road, and my mother would listen to the oldies. So I knew, and not only did she listen to the oldies, and this is, in the 80s, but she also watched all the oldies. So like in the mornings, for whatever reason, like my dad would get up super early in the morning, and then I would wake up, and my father and I would sit at the breakfast table every morning. He'd read the sports section. We'd literally go through every game, every transaction. Because remember back in the old days, well, I'm looking at DeAndre. He don't know what I'm talking about. DeAndre, you ain't know nothing about no newspaper.
I do actually.
You do?
Yeah.
I used to get up in the morning. I'm telling you, 6 o'clock in the morning, my father and I would be sitting at the breakfast table, and I would be going through the sports section with my father.
First too.
And then and then we would go through every part of it. The headlines, the back page
what
stories,
city is this? What
the
paper?
scores, the Fort Lauderdale Sun Sentinel.
Oh, the Sun
Fort
Sentinel.
Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale Sun Sentinel. And then my favorite part, I don't know why, my favorite part of the old school sports section newspaper was the transactions. In the back of the paper, there were the lines of the games. This is before betting was like even legal, and no one was like talking about betting per se. There were the lines. There were right. Everybody had a bookie. There were lines, and then there were the transactions. And the transactions would tell you everything. Like tomorrow's newspaper, if it were today, tomorrow's newspaper would be like New York Jets in bold, and then it would say signed new head coach Aaron Glenn. Then it would say Chicago Bears in bold, new head coach Ben Johnson. And I don't know why, but I love the transactions section of the newspaper.
And it would say like Chicago White Sox recalled blah, blah, blah from blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I was actually in the newspaper once, Cap.
Yeah? Tell me more.
Back home in Palm Springs at the Desert Sun.
Yeah.
I had a good game in one of the games I played in high school. And I was in the newspaper for a little bit. They just talk about performance and everything as a team and individual too. So
my dad would my senior year of high school, I had a pretty good senior year playing football, and anytime there was like a headline in the newspaper, my dad would cut it out. And my dad owned a gas station, and so he was he was doing the mechanical work all day. And then there was a wall inside the garage, and it had all the newspaper clippings hanging on the wall, so that when customers would come in, they go, "Oh, what's that all about?" "Oh, that's my son," And then newspaper, it would get dirty, and it would be like a year later, it looked like the Constitution of the United States. You know what I mean? It was like all brown, and like it looked like it was burned, and it looked like it was like 150 years old. But he even would clip out when I was trying to make it as an NFL kicker, I'd sign with this team or I'd get cut by that team. He would even cut out the transactions.
How many transactions were you a part of?
I think I was a part of about 6 or 7 different transactions, maybe 8. I think I had to have an even number. So there was a transaction when you signed, and then there was a transaction when you got cut.
Yeah, for sure. My dad did all that too, and he would cut out it was the Minneapolis Star Tribune, right? But whatever the write up was, and then when he was like, this is of course before DeAndre, before cell phones, okay? So you couldn't just parents couldn't just video there, and they didn't just have like this set up. So my dad had to buy like the old school camera, and he would go up on top of the press box, like he got a ladder, and he would film my games, and then he had to drive to the local TV cable access station to cut together, and taught himself how to edit, and made like a highlight tape for me to send to all the various schools that I.
How did he use the cable channel in town? Did he?
He just rolled up. He was like, "Hey, my name's David Trudell. Are you guys okay?
My son's really good. Can you help me out with this?
Is there any way I could use an editing bay? Would you be interested in helping me?" And of course, they were like, "Oh yeah, sure, man. Like, Minnesota, nice. Everyone's cool." And so he just did it. And I don't know how much time it took, but it must have taken a long damn time, because now, of course, everybody can just do it right on their laptop. And so I'm like, and he's since passed. But when he was still with us, I would just call him and be like, "Thanks, man. Like that was a lot of crap that you had to do to go through that." And just thinking about how it started with the newspaper, and then eventually you bring video into it. Now we can do all this on our phones.
It's so funny you say that, though, because my senior year of high school, I was trying to get recruited, and I did exactly the same thing. I would take the VHS tape.
Oh, did you do it yourself?
Well, so I had this like multimedia class in high school, and I would take the VHS tape, I'd put it into the machine. We had like one editing machine in the high school, but of course I didn't know how to use it. but I had a friend who could figure out how to use it. And there were like knobs on it, and you would like turn it like a little bit this way and a little bit this way. And then what I did is I clipped a whole bunch of stuff together. Here's a bunch of kickoffs. Here's a bunch of field goals. And then I was like, well, I don't have enough stuff here. So I was like, can we like reverse the film somehow so that it's the same thing, but they don't know the difference? And then I put music to the background. I tried to make it like somewhat entertaining.
Oh,
and
wow.
And then, dude,
That's a lot of
I
production.
freaking sent it everywhere.
Yeah.
I
carpet
did.
bombed.
So much easier to do highlight tapes and stuff now.
Oh, dude,
So
now
much
it's like all these kids are huddle.
With that said, though, I feel it's the same thing with music, though, right? Like anybody can put up a song, but the problem is getting it seen and not having it look the same as everybody else that's doing it. Like, how do you make yourself look that much better? Because like when I was doing it, you weren't putting together a highlight tape yourself unless you had like a lot of highlights. Now you could make a highlight tape. Probably like with a couple things, right? So that's how do you get spotted out of the crowd now? It's got to be a whole different challenge.
Well, I can just tell you, it's very funny you say all that because I'm telling you, this all started with newspapers and the transactions section and the sports section and then the VHS tapes and making highlight tapes so that you could get recruited, man. It is a whole different world. Hey, I mentioned the mayor of Philadelphia.
Oh, that's right.
But I'm going to get to that right after Radio Tinder because you have not heard this yet.
No, I jumped on that segment, but I forgot how much I wanted you to pay off your tees.
I promise you that as soon as we get done with Radio Tinder, that's going to be where we're going next. Hey, listen, real quick, let me talk about Prize Picks for a second. Last night, I made a $20 play on Prize Picks to win $200, but here's what happened. Tyler Hero did not play last night, but Paul George gave me 9 assists, but his more or less number was 4.5. Check. Jokic, this is the way it always works out. Jokic, I had him for 36.5 points and assists. He got 37. And LeBron, I had him for 41 points, rebounds, and assists, and LeBron got to 44. So check that one up for a victory. So that was good. Now tonight, I know a lot of you guys wait around for this stuff, so here it goes. I got a $20 5-pick flex play on Prize Picks. Remember, download the Prize Picks app, use the code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y, make a $5 play, get a $50 bonus. Here's what I've got tonight. I've got SGA, Oklahoma City at Utah tonight. I've got him for more than 25.5 points. Yes or no?
I like that.
You like that play. Now, forget it, DeAndre. You're not going to know any of this because I don't either. You ready? I'm going all hockey tonight because the Kings are hosting the defending Stanley Cup champion, the Florida Panthers. I'm going to the game tonight. I got Spencer Knight from the Florida Panthers to have more than 23.5 saves. I've got Adrian Kempe to have more than 1.5 shots on goal. I've got Matthew Tkachuk to have more than half of a goal. And I've got Joel Edmondson from the Kings to have more than 1.5 hits. So I'm going all Kings versus Panthers tonight. I'm playing hockey on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y. Make that $5 play, get that $50 bonus. And one thing to keep in mind, this weekend is the NFC Championship game. Jaden Daniels, it's a free square. All he has to do is pass for more than half a yard, and you win that square. Prize Picks, download the app, use the code CAPPY. Prize Picks, run your game. Tinder, next.
At Hyundai, we make a big deal about the little things, like the little fact that 9 Hyundai vehicles have earned IIHS top safety picks this year, and offering a little thing called America's Best
Hi,
Warranty.
my name is Victoria. I am from Sylmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
I want to thank them. Without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. Little help like you guys asked for. I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California, and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work, and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Fimath, and I'm from Sylmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where to be at, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, InsideCrypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from El Monte. Hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing. and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you, LA.
Has a special offer. New users just have to play $5 to get $55 in free entries. Download the Sleeper app today and use code SCORE and get $55 in free entries when you play $5. That's code SCORE. Must be at least 18 years old. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
Mr. President? Agent Collins, come on in.
Catch the new Hulu original, Paradise. Some conspiracies are bigger than they seem.
When I became president, first thing I asked about was the secrets. Aliens. Who killed JFK? He's the only one I really trust. And I want to tell you the truth.
Starring Sterling K. Brown, Julianne Nicholson, and James Marsden.
The biggest secret is right under your nose.
What aren't you telling me? The Hulu original series, Paradise, premieres January 28th, streaming on Hulu.
And it is Sedano and Cap, your Wednesday afternoon, Radio Tinder time. We like to play a TV theme. How about this? On this day, back in 1983, Mama's Family premiered on NBC. I don't even think Lindsay was alive yet, but you can follow her at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter or Instagram. Take it away, producer Lindsay.
I definitely wasn't alive, and also, was the person who played that woman a woman?
Mama's Family?
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it like, oh God, what was her name? Because she was in some other sitcom. I feel like she came from like Yeehaw or Weehaw. What was the name of that
When
show?
I was younger, I always thought that it was a man.
I don't know.
Vicki Lawrence.
Vicki Lawrence, yes.
What else
Vicki
was she
Lawrence. Vicki Lawrence was in
the Carol Burnett show?
Yes.
I like the Carol Burnett. I mean, I've seen clips of that. I thought that was funny.
Yes, Vicki Lawrence. She's the one who played Mama in Mama's Family. That's right.
She's kind of scary looking. Just, I mean, like mean. Like she always has like a mean look on her face.
Well,
was she mean on the show?
I guess so. I mean, she was mean Mama, I guess. I don't know.
Really?
I don't remember.
Obviously wasn't too memorable of a show, huh?
Yeah, I don't have a lot to add on this one.
No.
Okay. All right, so.
DeAndre, you like Mama's Family?
Never heard of it.
I've never seen it. I just saw the lady's picture when I was gathering these on this day things today.
All right, where are we going on Radio Tinder here?
All right, so where we're going on Radio Tinder here, if I can pull up my story here. Okay, so I recently spent an evening in an Airbnb with my familia, and I noticed when we went to check out, there was like a extensive list of chores. Included things like strip the beds and put all of the bedding in the washing machine. Obviously take out the garbage or take out the garbage from all the different garbage cans throughout the house and put them in the garbage bag and then take it outside and make sure that the fridge is empty. You know, all these kind of things where on top of that, they're also charging you a cleaning fee. Usually, I think this one was like $125. They range anywhere from like, I don't know, $50 to like $200 depending on where you're staying. I said, you know what? This is ridiculous. You can't charge us this cleaning fee for $125 and then expect us to do all the cleaning because it's basically what they're asking you to do. So for you guys, I don't know how often you stay in Airbnbs, but if and when you do, would you be somebody who completes these chores at an Airbnb? Swipe left or swipe right? Cappy, you go first.
I will swipe right that I would complete these chores. You know, an Airbnb is not a hotel. You know, a hotel, I'm staying, I live at the East Central, literally right across the street. I live at the East Central. I put my do not disturb card on my room because I'm going to be there for 3 nights. And I don't really need somebody to come in and clean the sheets. I don't need my towels refreshed. But at a hotel, I could just walk out. But an Airbnb, somebody owns that. Somebody uses it as a business. They're asking you to do something for them. So I just feel like I need to respect their space. So for me, I would tear off the sheets and put them in the laundry room. I'd take out the garbage and get it out. And I'd also make sure the place looks presentable because I don't want them to come charge me for like something excessive. So yeah, for me, I don't have a problem with that.
I'm with Cappy on this one. First of all, I kind of like cleaning. I don't know. I think it's because I was tight with my mom growing up and she was a big cleaner and it was kind of a thing to do to hang out with her.
I love cleaning too. For the record, I do love to clean.
So that's part of it. There's something rewarding about it, and once you get it done, and I think that Cappy hit on the bigger point though, which is that you are, even though you're paying to be in somebody else's home, it is still their home. And I think like when they write it into the contract, it's probably more of just a formality. And like if you don't take the sheets off the bed, I don't think they're going to add $100 to your bill necessarily, but it's just like, why not? Why not just take it off? It doesn't take that much more time. If you're in some huge hurry and you're about to miss your flight and you don't get to it, you could always send them a note like, hey, so sorry, I know this is covered in the cleaning fee, or hopefully it is. But I just feel like it's a why not? Why would you want to have somebody walk into a disaster if you're staying in their spot?
So for what it's worth, I think that if you're going to charge that much for a cleaning fee, first of all, I used to Airbnb my house out when I owned my house in Northeast Ohio, and I always cleaned it myself. I had a 3-bedroom house, and so when I Airbnb'd it, I cleaned it myself, and that took a long time. Most people like hire a cleaning company to do it,
right.
So it would take me an entire day to clean my whole house. And there were a lot of people who did that stuff voluntarily. I just think that if you're going to charge a cleaning fee like that, at least put it on like the front end of, like the Airbnb description that like, so you know that I'm paying a cleaning fee, but I'm also expected to do all these things. When you get there and it's like there's a list on the table of all these things you're supposed to do when you check out.
So it doesn't feel super warm to you when it's like listed in that way.
Yeah, and it's also not mentioned when you like book the rental. I mean, obviously, I don't have a problem with like throwing food out and stuff. Nobody wants like, what if someone doesn't rent it for a while? You don't want it to like stink up the fridge or whatever. I get that. But things like stripping the sheets and doing the dishes and stuff, like I'll rinse things off, put them in the dishwasher. But like, I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of excessive if you're going to charge people money.
I don't know. I got this weird thing about it. Like today, I woke up at the East Central this morning. I made the bed. I don't know why. Like, do I need to make the bed? I'm just going to come back tonight and crash out. But I made the bed. So I don't know, like if I'm at somebody's Airbnb, I'm going to New Orleans. I rented an Airbnb. I'm going to clean that thing before I leave. My kids recently were somewhere and they rented an Airbnb, and I said, you guys better make sure it's clean when you leave. I don't know. I'm uptight like that, I guess.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right, Linz,
I
what
never
else?
had people like leave my place in bad shape at all. But I mean, I'm just saying, it's one thing to.
What about you, DeAndre? You cleaning it up or you leaving a mess?
I clean up. I mean, it's someone else's house, man. There's no need to leave it dirty, man. I don't mind cleaning up. Get it done. Get it out the way.
All right, Linz, you're all alone on this one. You're a woman on an island.
Okay, that's fine.
You're a woman in an Airbnb. You're in a dirty Airbnb all by yourself.
I don't leave it dirty, but I feel like it's a lot to like take all the sheets off. Like that's just I don't know. Just it's not necessary. That's what you pay the cleaning people for. Okay, so this is from the Am I the A-hole forum. Oh wait, actually, before I get to that one, DeAndre's got one.
Oh, by the way, I just saw George dap up Kyrie. It's pretty funny.
George just dapped up Kyrie?
Yeah, he's got it paused up here on the screen.
Really?
So
Was it like
record it.
Was it on the air or was
Yes.
it like
It was on Yes, the air. It's on
no,
the
what
air.
I mean was George on the air with Kyrie, or it was just like he doesn't even know he's being caught by the camera
Correct.
doing
He does not know at all. He brought it in too. He brought it in with Kyrie.
Oh yeah, look at them right now.
Oh, yeah.
He's got it frozen. We'll
Oh,
have
yeah.
to show you guys during the break.
All right, I'll take a look at it.
But so we all know that the Eagles defeated the Rams over the weekend in that snow in the snow game. So now, fans, stay tuned. The Eagles are selling the snow from the snow game, and Saquon Barkley setting the Eagles' playoff record with 205 yards. The snow is being offered in a partnership with the Realist and has been collected carefully, preserved, and authenticated to allow fans to own a genuine piece of Eagles history. So,
man, stop.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Authenticated snow. Who went on the field after the game and was like, we got to collect this snow because people are going to want this snow? And by the way, how you keep that snow preserved? Because once you put it in the freezer, then it turns into ice.
So they're selling ice.
Well, what's the deal?
My question is, if it was your favorite sports team, would you purchase an authenticated item like this?
Hell no. Hell no.
Not snow.
I have no idea why they're doing this. This is me being an Eagles fan.
I mean,
I would never.
You've seen them do stuff like when Yankee Stadium, right, was torn down and they built a new Yankee Stadium. Oh, you can have a piece of Monument Park or like a piece of the infield.
You could have a chair or
a piece of a chair.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Like, okay, I get it. Especially the chair. If you want to put that in your house, like that's kind of cool. I get it. You know that you're going to have to pay a premium for it, but that's cool. But something that just falls from the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why that's connected so much to the
Authenticated
franchise.
snow. Give me a break.
That's just
man.
ridiculous.
Saquon set the playoff record for the Eagles too, man. You can
Yeah,
have that
sure.
piece of
So
history as
go
well.
bid on his shoes or
Right,
his jersey.
exactly, right. Hey, when Qualcomm Stadium down in San Diego went to the ground, they did the exact same thing. They're like, hey, if you guys want any of this thing. So a bunch of my friends where we used to have tailgate parties, we bought the sign from the section because we used to tailgate in a section called like A2 of the parking lot. So we're like, we got to have that sign. And now it's hanging in the back of one of my buddy's house. And that's a cool memory. But freaking stupid snow. If you buy snow, that's like these people that watch these TV commercials and they buy stars. You know, hey, that's your star. You get to name that star.
That's such a scam.
Right. Well, so is buying snow.
What about confetti? Because I know my brother, when the Cavs won the championship, and we were at the watch party at the Q, at the time it was called the Q, Quicken Loans Arena, they had really cool confetti. And they had confetti at the parade, too. I think that's where he sold it from. He gathered, bags and bags of confetti, and then he sold it on eBay, and people actually bought it. Would you buy that?
I would never buy that, but I do think that it's pretty smart to sell it because there are idiots out there that will buy it.
Yeah. I mean, he made some money off of it, for sure.
All right, how about one more chance?
Okay, one more. So this one, like I said, is from the Am I the A-hole forum. A woman...
Mike, you use Reddit?
Yeah, not a lot.
Me neither. Never.
Yeah.
Never
Not a
use
lot.
Reddit.
I'm certainly familiar with it, but not
But Lindsay likes this one area called Am I the A-hole?
Yes, it's funny where people just tell
Oh, that's
stories.
okay. I thought she was saying am I
Is
the
this
a-hole?
person the a-hole? They want to know. They're asking advice. Like, am I the a-hole?
Okay,
So
I
this
thought you were
woman
asking
wants
me
to
if you
know.
are.
No, she wants to know if she is, because she said that recently one of her team members at work asked her to buy Girl Scout cookies from her daughter. And she said, well, no, I actually can't buy cookies because I have celiac disease, so I'm allergic to them. And then the woman selling them was like, well, maybe you should buy a box and give it to a friend or a coworker because it would really mean a lot to my kid. And so they kind of went back and forth, and the woman was just like, she said there wasn't an argument, but she was just kind of like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. I'm good. And then she later heard the woman who was trying to sell her kids cookies call her stingy, and saying that she was stubborn and stingy because she didn't buy the cookies. And so she thinks that she should say something to this woman. So if she confronts her, is she the a-hole?
If the woman confronts her because the other woman who was trying to sell the kids cookies, if the woman confronts her because the other woman said she was stingy, gosh, this story is a little convoluted.
Let me just ask you, is she the a-hole for not wanting to buy the Girl Scout cookies?
No.
Okay.
And let me just tell you something right now. As a girl dad, I got 3 of them. They were all Girl Scouts. They were all little brownies before they were Girl Scouts, and they all stood outside the CVS trying to guilt people into buying Girl Scout cookies. Listen, I don't want to buy Girl Scout cookies. And here's why. Because if I get them, I eat them. Every last one of them. Especially those Samoas. You know those ones
those
with
are
the
good.
little freaking coconut
Yeah,
stuff
purple
on the
box.
top? Right.
Yeah,
and
I like
the
those.
creamy, caramely kind of stuff.
Tagalongs?
Right. And the tagalongs. Is that the
Ugh,
peanut butter
yes,
ones?
those are good.
Right. Dude, if I buy these Girl Scout cookies, I have no willpower to not eat them. So, young lady, I appreciate you being out here. I think what you're doing is great. Here's $5, and I don't want the box of cookies.
I mean, I don't even think you need to give $5. Like, why should you buy that more than anything else? Is the cause better necessarily? Like, there are if you want to just give money away, there are plenty of charities that can be that can be applied in any walk of life. Like right now, obviously, we're thinking of the fires that continue. As I was driving downtown, another huge plume of smoke up in the northern area. So, like, I will not be guilted into buying something just because somebody is in my face with it. If I think it's a great cause and I want to support it, sure, I'll buy it. But I think you have to try and separate the doll eyes. And this isn't just Girl Scout cookies. This is of course in this situation. So I that's at least what I say, Lindsay. I try to take that position, and I'm not saying I follow up with it every time. I'm not saying I don't just toss up a little cash on the side sometimes.
I just think the mom saying that lady's stingy. Hey, girl, you don't know what her deal is.
Right. Especially when she says something like, oh, I'm allergic to the cookies. I can't eat them. And then she's like, oh, well, you should buy them anyway and give them to someone else. Like,
no,
don't
bully me.
Who are you to say that?
Yeah,
I feel bad because I've got like a lot of friends from like high school or whatever that will post on nowadays. You just have a link. All the different Girl Scouts have a link, and they post their kids' link on Facebook. Like, hey, little Susie's selling Girl Scout cookies. Here's her link. And it's just like, then I feel obligated to like buy them for them, and it's like, wait a minute, no, everybody's selling the Girl Scout cookies. I'll just wait until I see them outside my grocery store.
Sounds like we're very anti-Girl Scout cookies.
I mean,
here.
I'm pro Girl Scout.
I was a Girl Scout.
I'm pro Girl Scout.
Yeah, I was a Girl Scout, so I get it.
And I'm pro cookies. I'm pro Girl Scout cookies. I'm just anti being told that I need to buy Girl Scout cookies. That makes sense?
Sure. Well, not
Also,
really.
you can get them anywhere nowadays. You just buy them online.
All right, there you go. There's Radio Tinder. Hey, before we come right back, and listen, I want to play for you, Mike.
Yeah, what is this Eagles thing?
What happened when the Philadelphia mayor tried to cheer on her Eagles? It has gone completely viral, and we'll get to it in a matter of moments. What did the mayor of Philadelphia do to turn her into a viral sensation? We'll get to it coming up in a matter of moments. But first, hey, look, I've mentioned this to you before. If you are thinking about selling your home, let's talk about Seller's Advantage. They've been at this for a really long time, and they literally have thousands of reviews to show you that they have been so successful for sellers. And when I say success, what do I mean? You want to sell your house, you want to sell it fast, and you want to get top dollar, and you don't want to have to do any real work. If you go to sell your house right now, you're going to have to paint the walls, you're going to have to clean the floors, you're probably going to have all your furniture moved out, they're going to have to bring in all this new stuff to stage, they're going to have open houses, and they're going to have people walking through your stuff. I'm telling you right now, that's the last thing you want, because I go to a lot of open houses. And let me tell you something. People leave their stuff in those open houses. I open your drawers. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Here's the point. You want a no-obligation offer? Let's talk about it. 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, 888-390-2747. A competitive cash offer will be made. If you like the offer, you take the offer and just boom, it's over. There are no complicated closing processes. There is no worries that the deal is going to fall through. They're going to pay you cash, and they're going to pay you with a very competitive offer. They're going to look at all the comps in your neighborhood, and you're going to make your money, and you're going to be on your way. Everybody's got a different reason for wanting to sell, but Seller's Advantage can make it fast and easy. 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, and sellersadvantage.com.
The Kings are back at Crypto.com Arena tonight, where they've been the best home team in the NHL this season. The Kings are back at Crypto.com Arena tonight, where they've been the best home team in the NHL this season.
Beats Spence to the blue line. The middle for Kempe. Those two want to switch. Kempe to the near side. Hands it to Kopitar. Back for Kempe. One-timer off the crossbar. You heard that ping from everywhere in the building. Kopitar to Kempe. Shoots! Scores! They went right to the same play. Off the crossbar. Back to Kempe. And then bar down and in. It's 3 straight games with a power play goal.
Tonight in Los Angeles, it's the Kings taking on the defending Stanley Cup champions, the Florida Panthers. Don't miss the action. Listen live at 7 on the all-new ESPN LA app.
Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you.
Hey, it's DeMarco. I know a thing or two about Super Bowls. I've been there, won that. If you want to experience the big game like a pro, Absolute Sport has you covered. From premium tickets to exclusive parties to first-class accommodations, their Super Bowl packages are the MVP of the fan experience. Don't sit on the sidelines. Be a part of the action. Go to us.absolute-sport.com. That's ABSOLUT-sport to lock in your spot. Absolute Sport, it's how champions watch the Super Bowl.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
It's a key ingredient called Tesnor. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. Total T is backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text HUNK to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone-boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text HUNK to 321321. That's HUNK to 321321.
And it is Sedano and Cap, your Wednesday afternoon. Trudell in for Sedano. By the way, if you're looking for USC women's basketball playing Purdue right now, you can find it on the all-new ESPN LA app. Coming up at 5:30 right here on 710 and on the app, we'll bring you USC men's basketball taking on Nebraska. And tonight at 6:30, we've got Kings-Panthers on the all-new ESPN LA app. On this day back in 1947, KTLA began operating in Hollywood. They're still in Hollywood right there on Sunset Boulevard. And on this day in 2004, the #1 hit, Outkast, Hey Ya. Sedano and Cap continues your Wednesday afternoon right now.
Sedano and Cap on a Wednesday afternoon, and Mike Trudell is in for Sedano. And then wait a second. Hold on a second, everybody. Hold up. Oh, yeah. Look who has just walked into the studio. Clinton Yates is in the house.
What's up, kiddos? How we doing?
The big CY.
How's everybody feeling?
We're doing really good, man. What's up?
I was watching you on TV last night because your Lakers were playing my Zardos. And not that they're my Zardos, but I'm from DC, so
I like the French kids.
I'm gonna tune into this to see a bunch of guys who can't even drink a beer. You know what I'm saying? Watch play
19-year-olds out there.
So it's pretty unbelievable. But so just quickly, the cheers when Bronny gets into games.
Oh, okay, dude. Wait,
Sorry, I don't mean to jump the gun on
No, it's okay.
But it was unbelievable.
No, just back up 10 seconds. You ready? So the game is getting to the latter part of the game. There's 2 minutes to go. The game is out of reach. And the crowd at Crypto is like, we want Bronny.
Yeah.
We want Bronny. And I'm like sitting there going, what is it that you people want from Bronny? Because it's 110 to like 90. What is it you want from him?
I just want to see him on the court. That's it.
I know, but can I just ask the question?
You just did.
No, but
I just answered it.
But here's the question.
They literally want to see him play.
Right. Why?
I think there's a combination of a lot of things. I think the #1 thing is if he's here, you might as well try to see him on the court. You've been down to South Bay and all that, and there's an element of that where you think, okay, there's a developmental part of Bronny that says, okay, if he's going to turn into a better basketball player, there's certain things that need to happen. But if he's going to suit up, and you're playing against the hot garbage Wizards, you might as well get the kid out there to try to do something to see how he can move, because he's the same age as these guys, basically. That is actually a reasonable skill level comp when you talk about the players that Bronny can actually compete against within realistic standards, Mike. And I think that I thought it was kind of adorable. I'm not going to lie. I don't know how else to describe that. It's fantastic.
It's the weirdest thing. I'm sitting there last night. The crowd is, we want Bronny. We want Bronny, right? Bronny comes off the bench. He goes to the scorer's table. He rips off his gear, and the crowd's going crazy. And we're like waiting for a timeout so that Bronny can come into the game. And as soon as the whistle blows and Bronny starts to walk onto the floor, the crowd is losing it.
I'm watching the telecast, and he comes in, and there were like 5 seconds before anybody said it. And he just yells, foul him, so that they can actually get in the game. I thought it was a good moment. And, whatever you may think about Bronny being on a roster or whatever that means, if things like that can happen, I think the experience for who he is as a player, there can be some value for him. Because, to be quite frank, there's a lot of people that feel like he's been imposed on, and there's been a position he's been put in that's very difficult for a young man like that. You're in the shadow of your dad already with his name, never mind being on his team, never mind being in this town. If there's sort of a cult element to people who like him, he can get some moments of joy out of that aren't just, oh, look, I'm now scoring 10 points a game in South Bay or whatever it is. No knock on the G League.
Yeah. No, it was
fantastic.
It was kind of cool. Actually, last night's Laker game, for a game where you're playing against a bad team, it was kind of an exciting night. I know that sounds a little weird. It all started for me. I can just tell you guys, when I walked from here, from LA Live, across to the Crypto.com arena, that what used to be Chick Hearn Drive, whatever it was, there used to be a road that you could drive on that would separate Crypto from LA Live. And like when the basketball season started, there was all these like fences around where they were actually taking out the road. And I was like, who's the genius that came up with doing this now, like at the start of basketball season? But now that it's been done and they've taken down all the fences and there's like a courtyard that extends from LA Live all the way over to Crypto.com and there's no more road there, it's freaking brilliant.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with it, it was so smart. And I realized like my complaint was that it shouldn't have been done at the beginning of the basketball season. But now that it's done,
I didn't even realize it was done.
Oh my God.
I haven't been over there either yet.
Oh my God.
I come in every day, and
this is news to me.
I promise you guys that when you leave LA Live and you're in like the courtyard where like the ice skating rink would be and the big Christmas tree would be, and where all the different things.
So between that and the statues, there's no longer an access road.
There is no longer a road. No one will ever drive on it again. It's all just been extended. It's just huge foot traffic, and it makes like when you come out of the game like last night, it's dark out in downtown LA, but the lights you're lit up like you're in Times Square.
It's like a proper gallery,
and
if you will.
Exactly. It's awesome. So whoever did that, shout out to you. But the excitement last night, Bronny at the end, for those that are excited about it, and Sasaki, the newest Dodger pitcher, was there last night.
Yeah, Bron went over and gave him a shout out.
Yeah, and you talk about like Bronny being a kid. Did you see Sasaki? He's like a cute little boy.
I mean,
like he looks like a little leaguer.
Very young. And
it looks like he's never used Carousel in his life. And I remember, he pitched for Japan in the World Baseball Classic, and we saw him there. Sneaky tall doesn't even begin to describe him. He's a tall pitcher, flat out. That guy's 6'3". And you think about, you saw him standing next to Bron, and he's of equal size. It was the kind of thing where you think, oh, right, like this dude is actually a big athlete in terms of his size, not just his stature as a pitcher. It was an exciting night, definitely, at Crypto last night.
All right, so Clinton Yates just walked in. Are you going to stick around for a minute?
I'll stick around for one more.
Okay.
We're popping over to the thing that I don't know if we're supposed to talk about. We've got something, a station event that we're doing later that I'm going to be at, as well as my son is going to be there as well. So that'll be fun. And then, and then we're getting out of here. So.
Okay, I want you to stick around for 1 second because I was about to tell Mike, and I've said this now for 2 segments.
Okay.
The mayor of Philadelphia has gone viral because she's excited about the Eagles hosting the Commanders.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But why did the mayor of Philadelphia go so viral? You guys got to hear this. We'll bring it to you next. This is Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN. It is playoff time, and it is now or never. Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the playoffs. We have over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings.
Hi, my name is Victoria. I am from Sylmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
I want to thank them. Without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. Little help like you guys asked for. I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California, and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work, and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Fimath, and I'm from Sylmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where we'd be at, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, inside Crypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from El Monte. Hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing, and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you, LA.
Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap. And it's time for 30 minutes non-stop.
Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing, thanks to our friends at Real Fathers Rights. Real Fathers Rights, the father's rights attorney. Visit realfathersrights.com or call 951-482-7517. Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of non-stop Sedano and Cap starts now.
You ready for this?
And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN. Let's do it, Jack.
Bing, da-da-bop, yeah. Bing, da-da-bop. Oh, come on. Bing, da-da-bop. Bing, da-da-bop.
What football game was I watching where they played this?
The national championship
That's
game.
it. First break.
Yes.
They were playing this song, and they played the extendo clip intro as well.
Right.
I got up off my couch, started jamming.
Yeah,
I thought about you, Cappy.
Thank you. And I got to say, like, for anybody that is ever watching any sporting event and they start playing this song and you have that reaction, here's what I want people to start doing. Shoot video, put it on Twitter, tag us so that we can start to keep like a record of every sporting event that uses our theme song.
It's a good idea.
You know how it's like no longer Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey and The Who? It's now Sedano and Cap's song. Or at least that's what people think.
I didn't even know that was a Who song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I didn't hear it.
I know a guy who covers college football, and he keeps a running list of every time he hears a Pitbull song at a college football game that he covers. It's hilarious.
That's great.
From all over the place.
I always love it when people drop in on the show, and I even prefer it more when it's completely unannounced. Mike Trudell is in for Sedano, but the big CY Clinton Yates is in. Now, Clinton, before we get into some stuff that's going on in your world, hold on a second.
You better pay off this.
I was going to say, dude, forget me.
Here goes.
Pay off the tease.
Here goes the Philadelphia story that I've been doing for like
doing this for an hour.
I know, two segments in a row. All right, so the mayor of Philadelphia was standing at a press conference, and she's got like the police chief like all suited and booted right behind her, and she is like excited because the Eagles are hosting the Commanders in the NFC Championship game this week in Philadelphia. So, in an effort to get the city hyped, the mayor of Philadelphia decided to create a cheer for the team. Now, have you heard this? Okay.
I didn't know what you were talking about until you mentioned it, but now I know what you're talking
Mayor
about.
Parker.
I think is it
right?
Cheryl Parker? I think
This
is her
moment
name?
is almost something straight out of Abbott Elementary. Not going to lie.
Okay, so here's the mayor of Philadelphia excited about her team hosting the NFC Championship game this weekend, and she says, "Go Eagles." Let's hear it.
Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles! Let's go, Birds!
Let's run that back real quick,
Yeah,
Liz.
you're gonna
Let's
have to
run
run it
that
back.
back for those of you who are listening at home, writing it down with your pens and pads. Run that back.
Look at Mike Trudell.
Well,
Look at Mike. Mike's noodling this.
The spelling, it's not great.
Well, there's either right or wrong.
Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles!
Elxus.
Let's go, Birds!
She didn't even correct herself.
Right. Elxus.
Trouble. We'll call that trouble with the snap. Trouble with the snap on that. The moment got a little big. I can understand how you think you're up there. This is why not everybody can play quarterback in the league, Scott, is that when the lights are shining bright and everybody's got their eyeballs on you, can you get the play call out in the huddle?
I mean,
didn't happen for the
I immediately start the sympathy. And like, should I be thinking a different way in terms of, well, I don't know if you can't execute like that. Can you run the city? Which she will get attacked for this. This will play in every single ad when she runs for re-election. And I do feel badly about that relative to, like, and I don't know if she's a good mayor or a bad mayor.
No
but
idea.
Let's say she's a great one, then I would feel bad. If she stinks, then it's like, okay, fine, get the oppo going now.
Well,
So,
and more importantly, if they lose, you know what I'm saying? Are there karma vibes that you're thinking, well, if your mayor can't even spell the name of your team, maybe you probably shouldn't be going to the big game.
Flip side.
Element of that.
Flip side. If they win, she should get this patented.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Elxus, there'll be T-shirts.
There's a bit building. Yeah.
Elxus T-shirt. Like, yeah, this could say her career. The only way to save it, Cappy, is if they win the Super Bowl and she leans all the way into Elxus.
If I
it's
were,
like you guys just don't know. This is the real Philly insiders. We know it's Elxus.
There's already shirts being made right here.
See, that's what I was saying. Hey, listen, if I was on radio in Philadelphia, I'd have shirts on the market today.
Do you guys watch Abbott Elementary?
No.
Okay, so it's about a public school in Philly, and they often dovetail stories. They just did a combo episode, in fact, with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, a two-parter. Anyway, they often have things that are like this is a scene directly out of Abbott Elementary. Like if you had told me that was an actual scene from the show and not a real life scenario, I would have flat believed it.
Hey, DeAndre,
no questions asked.
DeAndre, Get that Elx's tea in the Kelly Green.
Yeah, you gotta have one, bro. You gotta have one.
You
gotta have one of them.
Get that
for real. If I were Jaden Daniels,
the Elx's beanie.
If I were
ScottCamplin.com.
if I were Jaden Daniels, I'd be warming up in that T-shirt this weekend.
So you want the full embrace?
Oh
Embrace.
yeah. Because
actually, wait. No. First, you got to win the game. Then come
That's fair.
press
Yes.
conference.
You got to win the game.
conference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know who this is for. This is work cut out for one man and one man only. That's Jason Kelsey. This is his territory. You got to be the guy to own this because
Yeah.
he's got all the new
He's got that
platforms.
following, too.
He's the guy that's now kind of
And his wife.
America's Philadelphian, if you will. Not that he's from Philly, but you get my point
Yeah.
here. This is a Jason Kelsey operation at this point. Handing it over to him.
If you said JETS, has a very easy word to spell.
Yeah, it's 4 letters, one vowel.
But I don't really know if hey, give me an E, give me an A. I mean, she went for it. She didn't. Just give me one more time, will you, please? I mean, I loved it.
Let me hear you all saying ELGSES, Eagles!
Elxis.
Are you?
Let's go, Birds!
Let's go, Birds.
You guys know I'm a Vikings fan. Are you familiar with our chant?
No.
It's VIGSIKS.
Okay.
Vig 6. Vig 6, baby. I didn't get that Vig 6 T.
Oh, man.
How do you feel about that football game, Cappy?
About this one coming up?
As in the one with the team we just talked about.
I must say that I love Jaden Daniels. He's like my
Great story.
favorite
there's
player.
a hot take.
Yeah, no.
story.
I just love him. I just love him as a player. I think he's the most electric player in the league right now. And I just love the fact that he's a young kid who came out of college and has taken the league by storm. You know, there's only been 6 players in the history of the league that have been rookies to lead their teams to an NFC or an AFC championship game. And that list goes back to like the late 90s. The first guy was Sean King of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Do you remember that guy?
Yeah, Sean with a U.
Yeah,
of course.
remember him?
Yeah.
And then since then, I mean, there's like, I think Ben Roethlisberger is one of them.
Hold on. Did Sean King play in the MAC in college?
I think, did he play at Tulane? Does
he
that
played
sound
at
familiar?
Tulane.
Does it sound right?
Okay, yeah,
Does it
I
sound-
know Benjamin did it because I
Yeah.
covered Ben in college, so I remember when it happened because it was recently afterwards and we were all cheering like crazy. Like that, yeah.
Well, both games that they played this year were pretty close.
You talking about the Eagles and the Commanders?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Commanders won the last one.
Right.
Yeah,
It was
so,
like week 16,
they did,
I
but
think.
there's no Jalen Hurts. That was a Pickett game.
That's fine, but you know who
Right.
was there? That's right, Mr. Daniel. I mean, like, you know,
Yeah.
and that's
No,
the
I'm
thing
just
about
wa- I'm
this
just
team.
saying, like, how much of a difference?
They are trending in a way that, you know, you talk about teams that have mojo, teams that have good energy. They won the last 5 games on the last possession? I believe that's the number, Scott. And
they convert every 4th down.
Well, there's that, but it's not just like they were lucking out. I personally am of the belief that this team has actually been improving from week to week. And the way they took it to the Lions, I mean, you would have thought the Lions didn't know who they were playing going into that week. It was like in the second quarter, you're thinking, yo, Detroit, you know that you're playing in the playoffs, right? You understand that you could lose this game and your season is over. They lost that game, Detroit did, in terms of offense, defense, special teams, and the fourth element, which I talk about all the time, Scott. They lost the psychological battle as well. They were completely outclassed, even though it wasn't necessarily a blowout. I was stunned at how poorly they showed up.
Well, maybe the reason, Cappy, let me float this to you.
Yeah.
The reason that Washington, as Clinton just alluded to, is improving because they have a rookie QB, and you can put in a little bit more on his plate every week. And Cliff Kingsbury is starting to figure out, okay, he can make this throw.
Yeah.
I can go to this read with him. And so they have been adding. It's been an additive thing when you got a rookie that just keeps checking the boxes.
Yeah, there's something, and I know it's only today's Wednesday and the game will be this Sunday, but even today, for some reason, my gut is telling me take Washington to win this game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that's a reasonable pick. You know, you talk about, I mean, it's not just the trending. It's the manner of football that they're playing in. The confidence is off the charts. These throws down the field where sometimes you think, okay, it's getting up there. If he's open, he'll get it. Or, you know, if somebody blows a coverage, it's a catch. The confidence that he has in his receivers to put the ball anywhere and they can come down with it. I mean, I think that's half of the battle with what Daniels is doing is that it's not just him doing everything with his feet. It's not just him doing everything in terms of fitting balls into windows. He's throwing guys into positions and they're coming up with plays. They're all walking in the same direction in that locker room. It's unbelievable.
And what a difference is from like 2 years ago when nobody's going to the games.
Don't
And
get
like,
me
it
started.
just
The
crazy.
ownership was
They got
ridiculous.
sewage, raw
Yeah.
sewage flowing
Right.
from the
By
club
the way,
section down to the rest.
Mikey Sanders still, by the way, kid out of Michigan, player.
Yeah.
Just saying that dude can play. Keep that name in mind. In the
I could talk
secondary.
for days about it, and I will probably be talking for days about it on the new show.
Right.
There's the ding.
Okay.
If they get to the Super Bowl, but it's really been. It's
Cappy
not.
was supposed to pump that, but
It's
he
not.
didn't.
It's not. Well, the only reason I'm saying that is because I want to make this point. It's not just about the fact that I happen to have been a Commanders fan growing up. This is a legitimately tremendous national story in the National Football League. No doubt about it.
There's no doubt. And I will tell you guys that Dan Quinn, I spoke to Dan Quinn about, I don't know, a few weeks after he had gotten signed by the Commanders. He was down in his house in Hawaii.
Okay.
And we had a common friend. And I said, hey, would he be willing? The story goes like this. Dan Quinn's friend called me and goes, hey, Dan is really interested in the Chargers job. This is before Harbaugh, right? And he goes, do you have any introductions that you could make?
Look at
and
Cappy
I
out
go
here
like this.
doing backroom dealings.
Oh, dude, no, but Clinton, I go like this. I go, don't you guys understand? I'm persona non grata.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're
Chargers,
the last person
right?
to ask.
But I started blasting away. You know who's really interested in the Chargers job is Dan Quinn, right? So Dan kind of hears that I'm hyping him up a little bit. So Dan's like, well, that's really cool. Anytime you need me, let me know.
Sure.
So he comes on, and this is right after the story that had happened before the draft, where Dan Quinn and the Commanders had invited the top quarterback prospects to all come in to Washington at the same time.
Okay.
And that they were going to take all these kids to Topgolf. And as I recall, the story was that Caleb Williams didn't want to go, or maybe it was Jaden Daniels who didn't want to go.
I can't remember. Yeah, I remember this story in general. I don't remember in specific.
But Dan was on vacation in Hawaii, and he was as glib as could be and happy to be on the air and talk. And he spent about 30 minutes with us. But little did anybody know that a guy like Dan Quinn, in his first year with a rookie quarterback and an entirely new coaching staff, taking over a downtrodden organization,
at the very least,
would be able to, in one season, make them into a team that's playing in the NFC Championship game. And a lot of people think they're going to win.
It's remarkable. Fun fact, DeAndre, do you know what track and field event Dan Quinn holds the record at his alma mater of Salisbury State? The school record.
Come on, think about it.
Look at Dan Quinn.
Can I guess?
Yes.
Shot put.
Okay.
Shot put.
I was going to say discus.
Okay. I'm going to say hammer throw.
Lindsay?
I was going to say hammer throw, but
Well, Lindsay and Scott, you got that right.
Yes.
Hammer throw at Salisbury State.
That's
He
right.
owns the record. There is a photograph out there of him doing that one knee deal. You know what I'm saying? Where he's got a knee down and he's got not exactly a singlet, but whatever, a tank top from that, I don't know, whatever decade that was, probably the 80s. It's amazing. Dan Quinn is a career resurgence that I think is pretty remarkable.
It is. The big CY, Clinton Yates, is in studio. So here it is. Here's the list, guys, of rookies who have made it to a championship game. Sean King, Ben Roethlisberger, Joe Flacco,
Wacko Flacco,
Mark Sanchez,
Sanchito.
Oh, yeah.
Captain.
Jets run.
and Brock Purdy.
Oh, wow.
And Brock Purdy. And now you
Iowa
can add
State's
Jaden
own.
Daniels.
It's actually not the best list.
No, but I mean, think about that. How... I mean, is it a bad list? Are you mad if you're on that list? What do you mean?
Well, what I'm trying, I think the conclusion that I'm drawing is that usually, the best quarterback prospects are going to really bad teams.
Yeah, that's a good
to
point.
start.
Right.
And
right.
so that's all. So
that was never happening to Peyton Manning.
You're adding a guy, and he's not to say that he isn't good, but like a Brock Purdy and to a ready-made team, and you're not having to pay the quarterback a ton of money. But that was all. Just first,
Well, Ben
Roethlisberger.
That's fair, yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger was a first-round draft choice.
Absolutely.
And I think
He was a real
Flacco
guy.
was also. I think Flacco was a first-round pick, wasn't he?
I don't remember, but
Okay.
Ben definitely was.
Sanchez was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Clinton Yates. Hey, Clinton, before I know we all have things that we're going to be going to here in a little
Yeah.
while, but I am curious to hear, and I think all the 710 listeners should hear, that on the day after the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
which is Monday, February 10th, does that sound right?
I believe that's right. You'd
Okay.
have to check me on that.
Okay,
You know
I
what
have
I'm
checked my
saying?
calendar, but that is the debut of the Big CY's brand new national morning radio show on the ESPN radio network, which is gonna be heard right here on 710.
It is. Clinton and Friends is the name of the show. I'm really excited to get this started. Obviously I've been around here for about 5 years in terms of Los Angeles, but the ESPN Radio Network is a place where I have found a home in a lot of different places. Done fill-ins here and there, the old Dan Levitard show, all sorts of other programs that I got to do Mike and Mike a couple of times back when I was still going back and forth to Bristol when I was doing OTL. It's not unfamiliar to me to be on the national network. So to be able to blend that with what we do here at 710, it is a blessing. I am so happy to be able to talk my talk, as they say, D, and I think it should be fun. Morning radio is something that I've always loved. It's part of basically the reason why I got into this business, period. And I don't just mean I don't just mean LA. I mean, period. You know, I remember when I was a high schooler listening to whatever wacky radio DJs were in my hometown in D.C., you know, home of the Commanders, and I thought, I feel like that's a job I can do. These guys seem like they have a lot of fun, and they, enjoy their lives. So here we are.
All right, so on Clinton and Friends, on day one, it's the day after the Super Bowl. Who gets the honor of being the first friend?
I think that depends a lot on who wins the Super Bowl, to be quite honest, because if the Commanders win the Super Bowl, that's a totally different discussion.
One of your buddies from high school?
For those who don't, I mean, how about all of my buddies from high school? I mean, I say that because for those who don't know, I'm from D.C., and I'm sort of a divorced Commanders fan in the sense that once Daniel M. Snyder took over, once Sean Taylor passed, my love for NFL football, just as a personal fan, kind of changed altogether. That guy was my favorite football player of all time. And so the franchise was going through so much stuff between the name, between the owner, bilking, season ticket holders forever. It was just a bad experience that I had to wash my hands of. So for Josh Harris to come in, and I got friends that have been season ticket holders for decades, going back to high school basically, where they kept their dads and they still go and call it a religious experience because it's certainly a matter of faith, believing in something you cannot see. Now you can see it. And if the Commanders manage to win the Super Bowl, I think it becomes a very different show for me personally than it would be otherwise.
All right, I'm going to make a suggestion.
Dígame.
Okay, here we go. Tell me what you guys think about this. The power of ESPN, the power of the national network.
All right.
The day after the Super Bowl, the debut of Clinton and Friends. If the Commanders win, you know who should be your guest?
Who's that?
The happiest guy in the world that the Rams
I know what
lost.
You're gonna say.
The happiest guy that the Rams lost. You know who that is? Magic Johnson.
So let me explain something to you. The Magic Johnson element here is, in fact, remarkable, because I think what people don't know about Magic is that Magic has had a foothold in the DC area from a businessman standpoint, Cappy. I know you pay attention to a lot of this for a while. Magic Theaters, the theater train that he put together in the 90s, that they were in majority African-American neighborhoods. If you went to any movie in Largo, PG County, out there, blah, 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 and I know I'm talking about stuff that people on the station don't know, Magic's had a foothold in the DC area for a long time, and he's always counting his rings for all the businesses he's been involved in. That's an excellent call, Cappy.
Okay.
I might have to touch Magic's people.
So here's what happens. If Washington wins, you bring on Magic. And I say Magic was the happiest guy that the Rams lost for only this reason. Had the Rams won the game, the Rams would be hosting the NFC Championship game this Sunday. And then here's Magic, who's like the mayor of L.A., right? But there he is wearing all of his Commander's gear on the field in his hometown. So believe me when I tell you,
he's
Magic.
Bulletproof here. He's fine. Everyone's like, that's fine.
Yeah,
well,
it would have been a weird look.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But it's Magic, though.
I think Trudell's right. I mean, Magic
It's
is
fine.
kind of above the fray on that at this.
Yeah.
What's he got? What does he say? He's got 13 rings in his career based on the
man.
ones he won, the
Magic.
teams he's involved with. The Dodgers are part of that as well. I mean, that guy, for lack of a better term, I mean, there's a reason why his nickname is what it is.
Right.
He just laughs and he gets out of it. He's
Right.
good.
So, okay, so if the Commanders win the Super Bowl, first day of Clinton and Friends, Magic.
Magic.
If the Eagles win the Super Bowl, then it's also easy because, again, the power of ESPN Radio, that's when you go to Jason Kelce. That's
Kelce
it.
would be great. I
Right.
love Jason Kelce. I think that operation with him and his wife is fantastic. I love their dynamic. I love who he is as a person. And the other thing is this. Jason Kelce went to UC. I went to Miami of Ohio. I was there at the same time that Ben Roethlisberger was there. They went to UC. So I know a little bit about that part of the world. And him and Kelce, they went there. Varsity Village down in Clifton. That's where UC is. Love that guy. I've always loved that guy. And I think he's one of the best things that's happened, I think, to sports media in general. It's just sort of a guy that was a great football player, but also a normal dude stepping out there and putting his world, the sort of the big bear husky man world, into the field. Love it. He didn't slim down like a Jeff Saturday, who we've talked about before, but I think Jason Kelce's a really talented individual. Absolutely.
no doubt.
Hey, by the way, everybody in our live YouTube chat, DeAndre, they all love the mayor of Philadelphia. Everybody is just loving her. I thought everybody would have heard this by now because it was just plastered everywhere and it went so viral. But they're asking for like an encore presentation
Is that right?
of the Eagles chair.
They need a spelling.
E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles!
You got to get one of those shirts.
T-shirts,
Let's
bro.
go, Birds!
You got to get one of
Kelly
those
Green
shirts.
much better than the forest green, though, for the record.
Yeah, the Kelly Green should be fully re-implemented on every single level.
Yeah, forest green's not good in general.
It does. It's not a good look, especially not with the black. It's too close to each other. The dark
Including
on
Cappy's
dark.
mic flag is
Don't like it.
forest green.
You don't like this? You don't like this color?
I don't know if
Forest
that's is that forest. That's more of a.
It's closer to it.
It is
Yeah.
closer to forest. You're right.
Yeah.
The big CY, the last time we saw you here in studio, you were about to go on paternity leave.
Yes.
How is paternity? Because let me just say one thing.
Uh-huh.
When I had my 4 kids,
Yeah.
even my last
Since
child.
you had them, right?
Right. Well, I mean, since they were birthed, okay? I will just say my youngest is 18. She's 18 now. She's a freshman at Cal Poly SLO. She was born in 2006. We did not have something called paternity leave back then.
Sure.
So this is like a new development. How was it?
It was, I will say this. Veronica is what we call Keanu's mother's name on the air. That's not a real name, but we don't do real names on here because I don't want you goofballs in my mentions.
Wait, so your real name's not Clinton?
Exactly. But what she's done as a mother in terms of everything from care to health, because Keanu was born 5 weeks early. And for those who don't know, November is Prematurity Awareness Month because the health risks around having babies before term is intense. She made it out okay. It is still the kind of thing where we do our best to make sure that everything from a health standpoint is as much as we can. And, you know, I don't want to get emotional here, but the bottom line is that it's impossible to know how intense the concept and the activity of childbirth is until you're a part of it and you see it and you see the people who literally do the birthing, what they have to sacrifice for their bodies. I'm forever grateful that she made it through, that Keanu made it through. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Shouts to UCLA Medical Center of Santa Monica for making everything happen. Paternity leave will always, and everything I do will be a breeze compared to what she goes through and what she has gone through in order to make sure that that young man made it safely onto the earth.
Mike, what did you do when your kids were born?
Well, so the twins.
Wait, turn your mic on. Let's get that mic.
There we go. Yeah, you're good. There you go.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, is that how this works? The radio business?
There's an on-off button. It's pretty simple.
I've had a cough for like 2 months. So I'm constantly hitting cough buttons.
By the way, I know people who have the
Ridiculous.
same thing. They like the people that don't even really get sick.
Yeah.
They just cannot shake this freaking
I
cough.
can't shake. I shook it for a week and now it's back. The twins, we knew in advance they were identical twins, so like they share the uterus, right? So they they had their own specific time where depending on where you go to the doctor, they're coming out a month early.
Mhm.
Like, because otherwise what will happen is one of them will start to eat more of the food essentially.
Sure, it doesn't work.
And,
yeah.
and so we knew they were coming out at 36 weeks. We were very lucky in that when they did, they were okay. They didn't even have to really spend more than, I think one of them spent 5 minutes in the NICU. But we basically were able to go to mom right away.
Yeah.
So I was kind of bracing for maybe that not happening.
Yeah.
And my wife did have to have an emergency C-section. That part was hard. So she was in labor for like 18 hours, and then one of them, literally what they said was going to happen happened, where in this case it was Talon who started taking some of Jet's food, and they were even in weight the whole way through, identical, and then they came out a pound apart. So like it was only in the last couple of days where basically that started to happen. One gets pushed. So long story short, but we were very fortunate, and I was anticipating things to go in a different direction, and we got pretty lucky.
I will tell you this. What I was doing, I just wanted to give a shout out to his mom and him first, but I was watching a lot of old goofball TV shows that I know, a lot of Becker with Ted Danson, and I came across this show, Cappy. I came across this show that I'm still watching.
Let me hear.
Midnight Caller. Do you know what this show is?
Do not know Midnight Caller.
What's that?
My God.
I'm still trying to get him to watch The Wire.
Midnight
which he hasn't watched
Caller is a show about a cop turned overnight radio host who basically hosts a 12 to 3 a.m. show in like San Francisco, and on his free time just sort of like solves crimes. It is this wacky Thursday night NBC show from I think the late 80s, early 90s. It is amazingly hilarious, and it's not designed to be funny. Trust me, it is not a comedy. It is one of those like, have you seen those, Lindsay, you know what I'm talking about on TikTok where they have those like jazzy, you're the detective and you just got laid off by the force and you've got to turn in your badge and your gun and you're walking across the bridge and it's like, and it's got all that. That's the whole show. Like, that's the actual theme of the program. That whole vibe is the entire show. It might have lasted 4 seasons. I've been watching this out of my mind. It's the funniest
called
show.
again?
Midnight Caller.
Midnight Caller.
Hilarious overlap of crime and radio in one sitcom. Not even a sitcom, just one drama on NBC. I got to go, guys.
All right, hey, listen, Clinton Yates on the day after the Super Bowl, Monday morning, starting at 7 a.m.
Correct.
Clinton has the national ESPN radio show. It'll air here on 710. And so one of our guys now gets to host the entire national network.
Thank you.
And that's awesome.
Appreciate it.
Hey, listen, I want to tell everybody really quick, about Real Father's Rights. Yesterday, Mark Real from Real Father's Rights was here in studio with his fiance. So I said to Mark's fiance, I said, hey, let me just tell you, I got a number for you. You're gonna need this at some point. And I was only goofing around with her. But the point is that Mark Real, here's a guy who he's in the family law biz, and he getting married. And I think this is maybe the second time. So look, I'm just gonna say this to everybody. Guys, in particular the guys, if you are dealing with a divorce, if you are preparing for a divorce, if you're dealing with the after effects of a divorce, Real Father's Rights is here to help you get the justice you deserve and get you the happiness that you deserve. And Mark and I were having this conversation last night. There are all these statistics that will show you that family court favors the female. So this is why Real Father's Rights is here to take care of you guys. RealFathersRights.com/710. RealFathersRights.com/710. Let's get real with Real Father's Rights, the Father's Rights attorneys. Mike Trudell, you are out of here to go do TV. Is that right?
It's been a pleasure. You can check out Spectrum Sportsnet, just the Access Sportsnet show. Well, obviously talking about the Lakers.
Okay. Mike, great to be with you, man.
On at 7.
Appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow because we'll see you before the Lakers and the Celtics game.
Yes, sir.
Great job, DeAndre.